Good morning, good citizens of New Hampshire. I humbly address you today as Senator of the Great Granite State. As the ninth of the original 13 states to ratify the Constitution, New Hampshire has maintained a 230-year commitment to cautious political contemplation. New Hampshire has upheld this reputation by being among the most fiscally responsible states in the Union. With no general sales tax or individual income tax, New Hampshire maintains region-low levels of taxation precisely because of fierce control of state spending. In recent years, however, healthcare spending, both public and private, has become a major fiscal issue in our great state. As healthcare spending continues to rise, the need for a solution has never been more urgent. Fortunately, I, Senator Webb, presented a bill to Congress that sought not only to reduce the financial burden of healthcare spending in New Hampshire, but also throughout the nation. In addition to reducing the nationwide financial burden of healthcare spending, the DICE Act introduces tax cuts that incentivize investment in the American private healthcare industry. In that, among the DICE Act's foremost objectives was to stimulate the growth of New Hampshire's own flagship private healthcare industry. Throughout my term in the 117th Congress, I have proven myself a strong advocate of a principle which is held most dear by the state of New Hampshire, that of fiscal responsibility. Throughout the duration of the 117th Congress, I have consistently fought legislation that serves little purpose other than to drain your hard-earned tax dollars. My fellow Republicans and I led a filibuster against the Clean Act, a spending bill so massive that not even its author could keep track of the expenses it contained. Costing a grand total of $200.1 billion, the Clean Act sought to spend more money than the American sustainable energy industry is even worth. Although my efforts to kill this bill were ultimately fruitless, I demonstrated a dogged determination to prevent wasteful bureaucratic spending. I made further efforts to control congressional spending when I fought the Transportation Infrastructure Act of 2021. This bill sought to spend an additional $55 billion on transportation infrastructure that would barely yield any benefit to New Hampshire. Throughout my Senate term, I have also made it my mission to make good on my oath to defend and uphold the Constitution. In committee and on the Senate floor, I fought tooth and nail to prevent the passage of the Consent Act. This bill is not only blatantly unconstitutional, but it also risks endangering the lives of many innocent Americans by empowering human traffickers. Although this terrible bill was signed into law, I proposed legislation that would effectively repeal the Consent Act and all of its harmful policies. In addition to all of this legislative good, I've also worked with my fellow Republicans to ensure the passage of other good policy. In particular, I worked with Senator Resto of Pennsylvania to prop up a very important election reform bill seeking to safeguard federal election security. This bill would have taken important measures to prevent voter fraud and ensure that U.S. elections are a privilege reserved exclusively for American citizens. Good people of New Hampshire, having listed all of my legislative accomplishments, it is clear that I have gone over and above the call of duty. Having received support from both FreedomWorks and Americans for Prosperity for my steadfast dedication to fiscal responsibility, it is clear that I am a senator who fulfills the wants and needs of New Hampshire. I've shown a consistent effort to reduce our state's debt, to control congressional spending, ensure election security, and promote the economic strengths of the Granite State. If re-elected, I pledge to the people of New Hampshire to continue these efforts, to continue my war against wasteful spending, and to do battle with anyone or anything that threatens our way of life. Just as New Hampshire fought the British Crown with burning pride nearly 240 years ago, I am privileged to do the same in representing this great state. And just as New Hampshire fought alongside its 12 brothers against the overseas tyranny, I am privileged to fight alongside my Republican colleagues against a similar tyranny in Congress. I ask you then, good people, that on the first Tuesday in November 2022, you vote to re-elect William Webb for the Senate. God bless New Hampshire, God bless America, and live free or die.